Welcome back to Michelle Crochet. I'm Brie and Happy New Year. This is my first video of the new year. I am super excited to share with you what I got my hands on that I've been looking for. I want to tell you about how many balls I finished this year. And I definitely want to show you how my sweater came out that I started. Let's get ready to get into the video. It's officially 2024, and if you collect your ball bands, it's time to count them. I put mine in these boxes here. I've had this box for a couple years. I'm actually getting ready to upgrade it. But I saw another creator do this a couple years ago, and they save all the ball bands for all the balls that they use throughout the year. Now, for me, some of the balls I finish off are full balls. Some of them are just a partial. I like to save the ball bands from all the balls that are finished off. So that's what I always like to tell people. I finished off X amount of balls this year. So this year I finished off over 70 balls. And if you'd like a complete breakdown of all the different kinds of yarns I used, the old balls, new balls, vintage balls, middle balls, all the balls, I have an entire breakdown over on my blog. So by the time this video is up, that post should be up also. I am pretty excited though, because last year was a pretty crazy year. Moving, packing up, years and years of stuff. Because my husband had lived there for, over 20 years. I had lived there for over 5. So that was a huge move and a far distance. So for us, that took up probably the first 3 months of the year. I'm not sure I did any crocheting in the first quarter of the year. So to finish off over 70 balls, when the year before I had finished off, I do believe 79 balls. And this year, I think the official count was 72. You'd have to go to my blog post to see the full breakdown. But to think that, only a 7-ball difference is pretty crazy. I'm pretty proud of that. And I want to take a minute to encourage you to do that too, because it's really rewarding at the end of the year to see just how much yarn you actually went through. And this way you can justify it to, your significant other who shakes their finger at you every time you go yarn shopping. You can justify, say, look, this is how many I finished. I'm using the yarn, I swear. Anyways, though, I also wanted to let you know I found the Granny Square yarn. Okay, so the official name is Red Heart Granny All-in-One Square. And I really like the color. I was very lucky at my Joann's. They had all the colors in stock. I will say, though, I'm very skeptical about this. Let me just share with you a few of my worries about it. For one, you have to weave in ends, which means you have to leave a little tail. So, how much consideration did they use for that tail? Because I don't want to leave too long of a tail to weave in and then mess up my next square. But I don't want too short of a tail where I can't weave it in. So I'm a bit nervous about that. I'm going to open this up with you. We'll go over to the table in a minute and we'll look over, because I don't know if there's any, I haven't really looked at this. I grabbed it in the store, put it in my bag, and then pulled it out today to show you. So let me also grab my receipt, just to give you an idea here. Now this says that this ball, the skein, is $9.49. I actually had a coupon, so I was able to get it for $7.12. Even if it doesn't work out exactly the way, it stripes up and makes perfectly the amount of granny squares it's supposed to, I still think it's a good deal. Because, it's already the colors are already matched for you if that's something you struggle with. And this is a little bit bigger ball than most Red Heart, is what I've also been told. 417 yards. We'll go to the table, we'll give this a look and kind of read through it, and I'll probably end up showing you in a later video how many squares I end up with. So today I just thought I'd kind of share, my first initial thoughts, and then down the road there'll be another video telling you about, if everything worked out or not. Here we are with our skein of the Red Heart Granny All-in-One Square. Now, this says on it there's no color switching, keep on stitching. It looks like the recommended hook size is an I, which is I think my most used hook. I don't know about you. Oh, leave me a comment. Let me know what size hook is your most used. For me, it's an eye hook. For some reason, the eye is just my go-to for everything. A lot of patterns seem to require it. Probably because I do a lot of worsted weight. All right, so let's look here. Step-by-step instructions are on the back. The color I chose was the black cyber leaf. It's a medium worsted weight. It's 100% acrylic. And it says, you know, it's a middle pull from this end. That's pretty normal. So one ball is supposed to be equal to 14 squares. Now, will it or will not be? I don't know. I'm going to test it out. I'm going to find out. So let's slip this off because it said that the information was on the back here. Here we go. So on the back here, we've got, okay, here's what I was looking for. Here's our little diagram, or here's a little diagram. It looks like we're doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 rounds. And they have different configurations too for the pattern that comes with it, which would be the Best Invest crochet t-shirt. Okay, so I'm going to assume it must be, this is the pattern that's on the back. But this looks like we're supposed to be able to do 5 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, according to the diagram. It looks like it's your basic granny square. I like that it has the configurations. A lot of thought was put into the inside of this label. Now, to be honest, do I ever look at the inside of labels? Not very often. My husband just asked me that a couple days ago when I was going through my ball bands if I ever saved the patterns, but I never do. So let's see. Let me just zoom in to this a little bit. This you can see is going to be, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 colors. Well, that just kind of gives you a look of, I really do like these colors. This kind of gives you an idea of what we're looking at. And I'll get back with you in a later video if we end up with 14 squares out of one ball like we're supposed to. Stay tuned for a second though. I want to show you the sweater I finished and how it came out. Here it is, guys. The Aurora lace cardigan. I love this. It's by Marley Bird. Aurora lace cardigan, Marley Bird. I got this pattern for free. 100% recommend it. Even if I had to, if I lost the free PDF and I had to pay full price for it, I would do it again. It is beautiful. The lace in it is so pretty. I mean, throughout the whole thing, I like the collar. I like the cuffs. It was a very simple pattern. You know, it worked up quick, and it's just beautiful. I mean, it just is absolutely beautiful. The yarn I ended up using was from Michaels. It was the loops and thread, and the colorway was reef, like coral reef. I think it's beautiful. Let me just give you a little turn. I love it. I'm so impressed with how well it came out. It fits well. Like, oh, I love it. So the sizing is spot on. The pattern itself is easy. I can't say enough good things about it. I just really can't. Totally recommend it. I will leave a link down in the description. Totally recommend. 10 out of 10. Recommend. Love it. Couple of reminders before I go. The granny square yarn, I'm going to work that up. Actually, I'm going to start on it today. I want to see if it works out to as many squares as they're saying it is. I'll have a video coming up in the future about that. And if you're interested about all the ball bands that I used up this year, all the balls I finished, all the ball bands, check out my blog. That'll also be listed in the description. But until next time, take care.